Hello, friends. Welcome to Creative Medicine. In this lecture, we will learn about
Pharmacological stress test. Okay. In pharmacological stress test, we give a pharmacological provocation. So pharmacological provocation is given. Like we give either dobutamine is given to the patient or dipyridamole is given to the patient. Okay, and then we will first check the baseline ECG is taken, and also we take the ECG after administration of the drug. Okay, now the difference in the ECG is found out. Actually, when do you do this pharmacological stress test? This pharmacological stress test is done whenever the patient, the screening of the patient is not possible, or the patient is unable to exercise. If the patient is unable to exercise, then in pharmacological screening we can use this. Sorry, in cardiovascular cardiac screening, if the patient is unable to exercise, then we can use this pharmacological stress test. So these pharmacological stress test. Okay, so as I have said, we can use dobutamine or pyridimole can be used. First, what happens if you use a dobutamine stress test? In dobutamine stress test, dobutamine is actually a beta 1 agonist. Because it is a beta 1 agonist, it activates the beta receptors present on the heart, and thus it will increase the heart rate, and it also increases the blood pressure. So as a result, this dobutamine stress test will simulate as though you are doing exercise. So it increases heart rate, increases BP, so it increases the cardiac demand. So thus, if there is any angina, so they can be recorded. So in dobutamine stress test is best for reactive airway disease, and it is best if the patient is unable to reach the target heart rate in exercise or in TMT. In treadmill test, if the patient is unable to reach the target heart rate, then dobutamine stress test is ideal. Then we can also do a stress test with adenosine. We can also do this pharmacological stress test can be done with adenosine, or it can also be done with dipyridamole. Okay, what are these? Adenosine and dipyridamole are actually non-selective. Dipyridamole is a non-selective adenosine agonist, so both these will dilate the coronary arteries, but they dilate the coronary arteries without increasing the heart rate or BP. They do not increase the heart rate or blood pressure, but they dilate the coronary arteries. So as a result, because they dilate the coronary arteries, they increase the blood velocity of the heart, and also they increase the flow rate in normal vessels. So because it will increase the blood velocity and flow rate in normal vessels, there is less response in stenotic vessels. There is less response seen in stenotic vessels. So this difference in response leads to, this will cause steal of flow, and also this will lead to perfusion defects, which appears in nuclear scans, or you can see that there is this perfusion defect can be seen as, or it is reflected as ST segment depression in ECG. So what happens is, if this is the normal heart, and in the normal heart, if this is the ischemic tissue, now this dipyridamole and adenosine will cause cardiac vasodilatation if there are two vessels. Okay, this is one vessel, this is the second vessel. It is the normal vessel, it is the ischemic vessel. Normally this is already has an ischemia over this, but it is not manifested because the heart is, because it is not severe enough to get to manifest. So now what we do is we increase the blood flow through this normal vessels. So this normal vessel is dilated, so blood flow through the normal vessel is increased. So obviously when the blood flow through the normal vessel is increased, now this ischemic vessel will have less blood flow. So it simulates as though there is less blood flow. So as a result, it causes perfusion defect in this vessel. The perfusion defects are seen in the area supplied by this vessel. So this is seen in the ECG as ST segment depression, or if you do a nuclear scans, it is seen as perfusion defects. Now, where do you use? So this adenosine or bipyridamole is best for those conditions who are who have a left bundle branch block, or it is best for pacemakers, or if the patient is unable to reach the target heart rate in the treadmill test. In all these, we can use this we can use this pharmacological stress test with adenosine or dipyridamole, and it is not used for patients with, if the patient has reactive airway disease, we cannot use this dipyridamole or adenosine, and it is not used in patients who are on already, if the patient is on dipyridamole, or if the patient is on theophylline, these also causes coronary vasodilator. So because if it increases coronary vasodilatation property is not good, so as a result these are not used in these two conditions.
Thank you and thank you for watching.